Hi, gang. It's Mobb, where the Guppy is the mob. How are you? All good in the hood. It is hotter than heck. Did some fish maintenance yesterday. Gonna do some more today. And just spending time at home. It's hotter than heck here. John Oliver in the house. How are you? Great having you here as always. And lots of fun stuff going on. It's the one thing I've often said in this group. There are more true Guppy experts that show up. So, not that every question can be answered, but if your question cannot be answered here, really can't be answered anywhere. Doug Gray will be with us in a moment. There he is, the man who started a new TV series called Immature Aliens. That's right, Peter Thiel. Good times. Yeah, so if you have a Guppy question, it's you know, I don't consider myself the greatest expert in the world, but I know a lot from practical uh understanding and application. It's Doug Gray has way more experience than I do and is a much better Guppy husbandry than I am. There are other John Oliver's very good at Guppy husbandry. We got a good group here. Got a good group. So let's see what's going on in the deal. It's hotter than heck here. I mean, it's going to be 101. The air conditioning in my home can't keep up. So essentially what I do is that once it can't keep up anymore, I raise it a degree. It seems to do okay at about 74 degrees when it gets to the 100, 101 mark. There's actually a chance here, and I'm not joking about this, that we could be at 107 later this week. I'm going, oh. And Maggie goes out, runs around the backyard. Good news is the backyard's dry. So there you go. So I've been doing a lot of fish maintenance, getting stuff rolling on with the old fish. Life is good. Keeping everything working on in the fish room. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to, John. I'll tell you what. I will make a time to get down to Hot Springs. And do you know Logan at all? He just moved not far from you. Ambist Aquatics. What a great guy he is. So maybe we all can meet up. So you're about 4 hours from me. So I'm willing to do it. Yep, 100 degrees today, 100 degrees tomorrow. Good times. Good times indeed. I'm watching the track today, opening Saturday in Saratoga. And there you go. And I like horse racing. I love playing the ponies. I'm reasonably good at it, not terribly great at it, but not bad. Yeah. And yeah, good times. Yeah, it's I'm into you know what's not worked well for us in John's experiencing this in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and us here in Joplin, Mo, is that since there has really not been a good tropical depression in the Gulf of Mexico, none of the hot air is cool air is being dragged down. So the hot air is basically left to fester. Yeah, dwarf tossing would be a huge sport. Never caught on, mainly because there were people who thought it was mean to the little people, and some of the little people made pretty good money off of being the tossed dwarfs. Don't argue with how a man has to make a living. If he wants to do that and he's getting paid big bucks for it, who's he hurting? Obviously not himself. If you ever sat there and watched it, they have these things, padded up pretty good. Padded up pretty good. It's now I do this thing with my water. How I treat it is that I go in and I have a couple of 40-gallon garbage pails that I fill up and treat the water and usually let it sit in there a day or two before I use it to do you know water changes, stuff like that. The water, when I was grabbing stuff, I was filling stuff up on Thursday. The water out my tap was a grand total of 77 degrees. That's cold water. So the good thing about the weather outside, when the water gets into my hot water heater, doesn't have to heat up that much. I'm probably saving money. Yeah, I need a nice tropical depression. Isn't it time for Texas or Louisiana to be hit by a hurricane? Just asking. Just asking. It's go out and take out, and why they keep rebuilding New Orleans is just beyond me. It's sitting below sea level in places. It's a stupid place to live. Move, get out of there. Not good. And I get it. People love New Orleans, and I do too. The food, talk about great. Talk about great all the way around. I didn't do a good enough job guessing how much baby brine shrimp eggs I had. And I ran out a couple of days ago. And I'm not ordering anything with 100 degrees outside. I'll time it out for when the temperature gets to, we get into a run of the 80s. Probably in November, hopefully before that. It's my lawn is completely dry. It's a heck of a deal all the way around. Heck of a deal all the way around. What's going on in your fish rooms, guys and gals? I think the main thing this time of year is, get those water changes. You can probably snag a bag of San Francisco. Yeah, that's a good idea, Doug. That's a good idea. Except I don't think I have terrible fish stores. They're not terrible. They're not the most sophisticated fish stores. I have 3, and 2 of them have been open for less than 2 years. Now, what I have done is I'll put in some treated water in the thing, and I'll get some frozen cyclops, and sometimes I can get some frozen baby brine shrimp, and I'll put that in there, shake it up real good, and yeah. It's so other than that, gang, have just been so busy. Life has been absolutely great. So good things having to go on. Work wise, it's been so freaking busy. And then one of my staffers is going out for surgery. He claims he's only going to be gone for 5 days, and I believe that's his intention. It's I have a feeling he'll be out for a couple of weeks, which is okay. It's July. Life is good. We have our corporate consultant comes to town next month, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. I enjoy spending time with the company consultant. But yeah, that's the name of that tool. Let's see what else is going on. I don't know. Just water changes, getting things organized. I really was not pushing the fish in the spring because of bad weather. Get them hooked on Ancient Aliens. Well, that sounds like a plan. And by the way, gang, if you don't watch that, you got to watch it. You don't have to buy a word they say. Just wait for a character named David Childress. He's not the one with the crazy hair. The guy with the crazy hair, Giorgio Tsoukalos. Yeah, I can pronounce his name. That's how much I watch it. Giorgio Tsoukalos, actually, as a helpful little hint, he's the guy with the common sense, the crazy-haired guy. The game to play, and it's a good game to play while watching The Wonders of Ancient Aliens, is that the premise sucks, is if in the first 15, 20 seconds, David Childress shows up. Whatever comes out of David Childress's mouth makes 0 sense at all times. It's all of a sudden, I think the producers, the script writers of that show say, "Hey, David, we need you to read this." And he goes, "Okay, yeah." Making a lot of money off this Ancient Alien scam. And by the way, I did go to Alien Con. I know I missed out on going to Aquashella. I went to Alien Con instead. Yep. Yeah, David Childress is the best. So, and I will tell you about Alien Con. The crowd was shocking. Real normal. It's a lot of young gals there. If you're a single gent in your 20s, looking for a pretty girl with unique interests, go to the Alien Con. They weren't tough to find. Not tough to find whatsoever, which you'd think would be kind of funny. So there you go. Hey, Melvin! How you doing, buddy? The official, unofficial mayor of Pittsburgh. It could go much better if Melvin was mayor. Much better. Glad you're doing well. Hey, by the way, I'm going to give you an energy saving tip, which is something that all of us in the fish hobby have to somewhat pay attention to, especially this time of year on your electricity. Make sure your refrigerator is full. And it doesn't have to be food. In fact, mine is full of the nectar of the gods and bottled water. The reason why that's good, once it's at the temp, it actually keeps the fridge much better. So there you go. Relaunched Empire sounds like a new Star Wars movie. Yep. starring that Daisy, whatever her name is, who's charming as all get out. Daisy Ridley is her name. Yeah, she's a treat and a half. I'm a huge fan of the Daisy Ridley. So there you go. And all right, they just had the first race go off. Yeah, she's adorable, isn't she? Daisy Ridley is a lovely gal. Not in your smoke show type of way. She's not like Megan Fox or you know uh an absolute classic beauty, but there's a certain kind of wholesomeness to her, and yeah, sort of a nice wholesomeness to her. Oh, yeah, a wholesomeness about you. Hey, what's up, Logan? We were actually talking about you at the beginning. John was wondering when I'm going to make that trip down to Hot Springs, and I suggested we need to include you and have lunch. So I'll work on that and try to find a way to get down. The people who say that about you are drunk, Doug. When are you around drunk people? Being just asking that. It's you and your 80 to 90 guppy tanks. By the way, monkeypox. I'm doing what I can to avoid it, and and it's supposed to be a lot of skin on skin contact. Excellent, excellent, Logan. And so, yeah, the deal goes like this. Uh, Speaking of fun, uh, if you go in and enjoy the wonders of the clubs, yeah, you won't be around anyone the next few days. Got the second COVID booster yesterday. Sore arm, you're actually aching, but nothing rough. Yeah, I've had just the one booster. I'll probably do the second booster. Monkeypox, though, apparently it's mushrooming across the country, where we just had seemingly like 3 weeks ago, we had 2 cases. Now we have over 1,800 cases. And apparently it's all about laying skin on skin with somebody who's got the monkeypox. Now, I don't know if it has to be yeah, it's so you're on a date, make sure you check out the individual pretty good and really look at their skin. Remember the movie Police Squad 33 and a half, where Leslie Nielsen and Priscilla Presley put on full body condoms? That's where we're at, everybody. Now, Logan, were you vaxxed? I know people who are vaxxed who've been picking up the Rona. I've had the one booster. I'm Team Moderna. Moderna. And I have avoided it. I have been, by the way, surrounded by people with COVID. At my office, we had our company Christmas party, and I sat for dinner between two of my fellow coworkers who came down with the Rona. So it's not like I was at the same thing. They were there. I was sitting with them, eating. And I avoided it. It's Empire Fights Back. Nice. Nice indeed. I had for lunch today, I had eggs and vegan sausage for breakfast. For lunch, yep, managed to avoid it for 3 years. Some variant finally got you. So then for lunch, I had cachava. If you don't know what cachava is, it's going to show up in your timeline. It's an all 70 superfoods. You you blend it up. I add to mine just because the taste is okay. I put in usually some frozen fruit. Like today, I use blueberries. Uh, and then I add a little bit of organic cinnamon to it. And I usually add probably a teaspoon or two of honey, organic honey. Yeah. And it's really filling. It's very healthy for you. So I made sure I had some potato chips with it. And for dinner tonight, I'm going to make vegan stir fry with Mongolian garlic sauce. And so there you go. Try nice bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich minus the lettuce and tomato. I highly recommend it. Yep. What else is going on? I went to speaking of stuff going on, uh you know, the grocery store and stuff like that. I had to buy Maggie her food yesterday. I was out. I was buying 37.5 pound bags of Purina One Sport. That's what I'm told to feed her by the breeder, and the breeder co-owns her, so I follow the rules. So I go in and yesterday I go to PetSmart because that's the only place here locally that has it. I haven't found anywhere else. Okay, I paid $55 for the 37.5 one, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I had switched. I had last bag I bought before this was the 50 pound because that was the only one they had, and I paid like $80 for that. Well, for this, 19 pound bag, I paid $57. $57. Holy capoly. Let's turn around this inflation crap. Whatever has to be fixed, fix it now. And no, I don't want the monkeypox. I don't want the Rona. My sister and her husband just got over the Rona. They had the first booster, but not the second. My sister is a cancer survivor, and she got the therapeutic stuff to take immediately, the antiviral stuff for it. She was better. She was COVID free before her husband. Her husband's in like unbelievable shape. So it's unbelievable shape for a guy that's his mid-50s. So, yeah. You never know what happens with this thing. Of course, Melvin breaks the rules. When you're the mayor of Pittsburgh, the unofficial appointed mayor of Pittsburgh, you can do whatever. You can do whatever you want. It yeah, yeah, so what I do I make my own frozen meals. That's you can tell that all you're doing is spending time with a puppy and your fish when you're making your own personal frozen meals. The new Thor movie is excellent. I was surprised I was not in it. I was surprised I didn't call either. I was willing to do the gym time. I really was. Proud of the gym time all the way around. So I make this thing. I have like the veggie crumbles. I put in a few full cloves of garlic into the stir fry. I've got some frozen veggies. I get those variety packs where it has like 3 or 4 things in it. This one I have the red peppers, green peppers, and onion. Boom. Frozen. You just dump it in there and the whole package for like $2. There you go. The Minions movie was the best of the 4 movies I've seen in the past month. Very good. Can't go wrong with Minions. I've learned. You cannot do with that wrong at all. I've been sort of waiting on hopefully my lady friend getting to town because she wants to see some movies. So hopefully she's been dealing with some family issues. So she has a family member that's ill and not given a lot of time. So she's been up taking care of that. And yeah, by the way, cancer sucks, everybody. If you didn't know that yet, now you should. Let's see what else is going on with the fish. I don't know. I just have, clean them out, clean out my aquariums, do those water changes. Life's good. Life is good all the way around. And so that's what you need to, to pay, a lot of stuff, a lot of attention to. I part of me wants to just continue watching Kenobi. I got the first few in when my lady friend was here, and I haven't watched it since. I may watch a bunch of it this weekend. It's I've got that going on. I did priority. Do you know what? I shipped priority mail. It was 1610, which I think is a little bit higher, not much. And here's the deal. Left now, Joplin Mo, if it gets anywhere in 2 days, it's like one of the great miracles of life because it goes from Joplin to Springfield to Kansas City to wherever is next. generally speaking, I learned a long time ago that a lot of people pack up the night before to ship. And I did that a few times, and all of a sudden I realized my boxes are not leaving the Joplin thing. If I drop them off at, because I can get away from my lunch after 9 in the morning. So technically I can just swing and mail them. Well, they weren't leaving Joplin until 5 p.m. So I just pack them. I just have all the boxes ready. I pack them. I pack the fish up when I get home, and so it's a less day. And it's always, if it gets somewhere from me in 2 days, it's one of the great miracles of life. Most of the time, it is a 3-day putt. So I shipped out Monday. I just had one this last week. Yep, priority still the answer for now. I shipped on Monday. Like 3 p.m. I dropped them off. Went out at 5. It arrived in Miami at noon on Thursday. So it was just, it was, so it was, 3.5 days. If it gets there on, if I ship on Monday and it gets there on Tuesday, or gets there on Wednesday, it's highly unusual. Just is. And I think it's mainly because Joplin, it's not, if I was shipping from Kansas City, it would probably be sent out and be on a plane that day or a truck to the next location. Because of where I'm at, it just takes forever. Just takes forever. Let's see, what other little things do I know? It's just, in the winter you want summer, in the summer you want fall, you want, you're excited about winter for about 2-3 weeks. Then you wait for spring, like every day, once it gets to beginning of March, you're just like going, spring, is it here? Is it here? And this summer has been really weird because I didn't, I was set to do summer tubbing. I'm glad I didn't. There were weeks in May in Joplin where there were several days where we got down to the lower 40s. Well, that ain't going to work with the fish. Not going to work at all. Yeah, because Logan, where you're at, do you drive the fish to Little Rock or do you ship out of Sheridan? You go to Sheridan, then it goes to Little Rock and then out. And the airport in Little Rock is nice. The name of the airport is the longest airport name in the universe. The Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport. That's the name. Named after them both. Not Clinton National, which would be nice and quick. The Bill and Hillary. National Airport. Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport. It's pretty long. They do sell you wine from boxes there, which is great. And be very nice. Nobody wants to be suicided. So let's see, what other trinkets do I know? Um, it now in getting stuff in, eBay ship in some stuff like for people that get things that end up being shipped from Hong Kong. Has that picked up at all? So if you've purchased a lot of, if you went out and bought a bunch of, sponge filters, and they all are coming from, Hong Kong, is it coming? Last time I did a type of shipment for that was right probably in the first 6 months of Rona, and it took like 3 months for them to arrive. Is it quicker than that now if you're getting stuff internationally? If you're in the business where you're selling hard goods, like lights and all that stuff in the aquarium hobby, it would seem to me that it would seem, and I may be wrong here, but it would seem like uh, the supply crisis would still be a deal. I I actually went to 3 places this morning to get Skippy peanut butter. I couldn't find Skippy, at my first 2 places. And, and what happened to Jif? Jif's my go-to peanut butter. I don't like Peter Pan. Peter Pan is too sweet for me. So there you go. Has anyone heard from Chattanooga Ed lately? How's he doing? No, he went and had a pacemaker put in and all that sort of stuff. No hard goods for you. Haven't imported anything since moving. Prices were getting really high. Yeah. Oh, here it's all Peter Pan, Doug Gray. And I don't like it. I don't like Peter Pan. I just don't. And Skippy is fine. It's Jif, though's my go-to. And hopefully they solve the problem that they were having. It's Jif. It's a heck of a deal. So it's by the way, one of my neighbors got a Tesla, and let me tell you, it's kind of neat. Except there's something weird about them. Is that the battery, how they operate, apparently has to be kept cool while it's 100 degrees outside. So this guy has it parked, at his driveway. And even though the car's off and not plugged in, you can hear a fan running. There's a fan that automatically runs to keep the battery cool. Now I don't know how much that takes off the deal. He's got the 220 amp thing to plug in his driveway. So I don't know how efficient that is or not. I have to quiz him on that. But they're cool. And I'll tell you what, those things are silent as hell. I have to go and walk my dog, and so I'm out there, and it's a heck of a deal all the way around. The other thing that's going on, gang, besides supply shortages and doing that, is now I know John's probably not here now. John's probably moved on because he has stuff to do. He gets his fish in internationally from suppliers internationally. Doug, have you ordered any fish from Asia lately? I'm wondering how quick that goes. No orders for you lately? Yeah, supply chain stuff, and also with all these flights getting canceled, it really sort of makes me worry about shipping stuff from out of the country, because all of a sudden a flight gets canceled and my fish are sitting in wherever, then going to the transshipper, then being shipped out of there. It's highly concerning. So I was just, interested to see how it was working, because I know John does a lot of that stuff, and that's his business, so that's good, and pretty important stuff. So let's see. Is my air conditioning running? No, I raised it up a degree. It seems to be keeping up. Let me ask what the temp is, gang. Hold on. Right now, it's 96 degrees Fahrenheit. 96. Expect a low of 80 degrees. Yours would always get stuck in Dallas coming out of South America. Part of why you moved. How many hours are you from Dallas if you had to go pick up there? Is that where you go pick them up, Logan? Was that about 3 hour drive? Yeah. Yep. I get it. How many aquariums, Logan, do you have set up? Yeah, much better than dead fish. Exactly. Yeah, no. Actually, I'll tell you what. I have it so my A word cannot order food, which is strong. Only 45 to 50. Everything's a big work in progress. Yeah. But isn't that the truth for everything? The cool thing about this hobby, like most hobbies, by the way, is that it's always a work in progress. It's like I picked up the photography bug, not quite like our buddy with King and Queen of Cichlids, who's like giving up fish for photography. I'm nowhere near that. I just like doing photography. I love wildlife photography and taking pictures of the animals outside and stuff like that. But yeah, it's as a little heads up, gang. Uh, every hobby that you go into, there's always that next thing. My dad has one living brother. There were two brothers. My uncle Jeff's in his mid 80s, and he for decades has restored 57 Chevy Nomads. He has one in the garage permanently. That's his baby. He normally is working on another one. Usually he has a second one going on. Sometimes he has two others going. But Chevy Nomad's finding parts these days, authentic parts is really difficult. So he is now restoring a 71 or 72 Chevy El Camino. You got the T8i? Yep. Yeah, that's what I have the T7i, which is the generation before that, Doug. here's how I shoot everything outdoors, especially for wildlife. I have it on sports setting. I have it automatically focus. And now the deal is, and again, it's not like the old days where, when I loved when I was in high school and college taking pictures, but it was damn expensive to get the film. Well, you don't have to worry about that. So with my T7i, I'll go out doing photography, and sometimes I take 1,500, 1,700 photos in a 2-hour period. Then I go through them all, which takes more time than anything else, just saying, okay, I really like this one. I just rename the ones I like and then erase the ones I don't. And I do it on the laptop. It's great. I really enjoy it. And I have another camera that works well for video. It's I guess about 10-year-old camera. And name them all Harold. I had a bird named Harold. I had a cockatiel named Harold. And I had a cat named Maud, Harold and Maud. So there you go. Harold and Maud, you can't go wrong. Yeah, I just received a text about a joke named a joke about Zach Wilson. Where's our boy? Where's our boy Tom? Doug? Where's Ali John? I will say this, by the way. Watch, I have Saratoga up. It's a little chalky today. A little chalky means the horses that are favored are winning. No, I see Ali Sean post stuff up on Facebook, and I know I haven't been particularly, over the last couple of months because of stuff going on, being out of town, junk like that. I haven't been as regular. Like last week, going at 9 a.m. Central, primarily because I had to be somewhere at 11 for work. I hope I do not have something else to go on at night for a long time to come. Maybe our boy Alishan Doug is wrestling Japanese beetles. Maybe he is wrestling Japanese beetles. And I'm going to shoot him a note, see where our boy is. And hey, All right, I'm sending him a note. We are live. Where are you? Fighting the Japanese beetles? All right, I sent him a note. Harass him. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's my friends who are I have when I worked in New York, I worked around these people who are Mets and Jets fans. And perhaps it was one of I mean, these people were actually in love with the prospect of losing. They loved it. They thought they were such a fan. They go, yeah, oh, it's so much easier to be a fan of the Yankees and a fan of the Giants. Well, the Giants haven't been good in a decade. Yankees are just killers. And the Mets actually look pretty good this year. But yeah, not so good. Not so good all the way around. Yeah, it's now is this not saying anything about my home teams, my Vikings? Who knows what's they have a new coach, offensive minded. It's Kirk Cousins is sort of the modern day uh Tony Romo. Statistically, he looks great. Fantastic. If that game is on there to win, yeah, good luck. My Twins are doing well, but they have a chance to collapse. Don't underestimate their ability to collapse. St. Louis Cardinals are big in my area. The Kansas City Royals are fairly big. Royals are terrible. Absolutely terrible. And it's and the Cardinals, I just think they're at a place where they're going to begin to collapse because their team is older. They have a new manager. They have, and at some point during this schedule, these guys usually break down. So my deal is with the Cardinals, very well could collapse in the second half. It's, Pujols is actually having a pretty good season. Adam Wainwright's doing what Adam Wainwright does. But again, these guys are old. They're old. So there you go. All right, gang, I got to get some junk done. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate having you all there. And we will see you next week. We'll be back at the same time, same channel. Adios, amigos.